Fatigue is a subjective feeling of tiredness, lack of energy, or exhaustion that is disproportionate to a patient's recent activity level. It is a symptom reported by the patient. In contrast, weakness refers to a demonstrable loss of muscle strength or power that can be objectively confirmed during a physical examination. It is a clinical sign. Fatigue is an exceptionally common complaint, representing up to 20 to 25% of visits in primary care settings. While it is often self-limiting or related to benign, lifestyle-related factors, it can also serve as the presenting symptom for serious underlying medical, psychiatric, or neurological conditions. Therefore, employing a structured, efficient clinical approach is paramount. This strategy helps avoid unnecessary and costly testing for the majority while ensuring the reliable identification of cases with serious red flag etiologies. The differential diagnosis is broad and is best organized by system. The most common category is psychiatric and psychosocial causes. This includes depression, anxiety disorders, adjustment disorder, chronic stress, burnout, and somatization. The second major category is medical causes. This includes infectious diseases like viral syndromes, chronic infections such as tuberculosis or endocarditis, and post-acute coronavirus disease 2019 syndrome. Endocrine and metabolic disorders are a key subgroup, encompassing hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, diabetes mellitus, adrenal insufficiency, electrolyte disturbances, and chronic kidney disease. Cardiopulmonary causes include heart failure, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and obstructive sleep apnea. Hematologic and oncologic causes feature anemia from iron, vitamin B12, or folate deficiency, as well as occult malignancies. Rheumatologic and inflammatory conditions, such as rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus, erythematosus, fibromyalgia, and chronic fatigue syndrome, also known as myalgic encephalomyelitis, are important considerations. Finally, numerous medications and drugs can cause fatigue, including beta blockers, antidepressants, antihistamines, opioids, chemotherapy agents, and substances of abuse or their withdrawal. For true, objective weakness, the focus shifts to neuromuscular causes. Central nervous system disorders include stroke, multiple sclerosis, spinal cord disease, and myasthenia gravis. Peripheral nervous system causes include polyneuropathies and inflammatory muscle diseases. A meticulous, focused history is the cornerstone of the evaluation. First, thoroughly characterize the symptom itself. Determine the onset. Was it acute or gradual? Note the duration and progression. Identify any patterns. Is it worse at certain times of day? Is it relieved by rest? For fatigue, ask, is it primarily mental with poor concentration or physical with an inability to perform tasks? For weakness, clarify, is it proximal, causing trouble rising from a chair, or combing hair, or distal, causing difficulty with grip or foot drop? Actively search for associated red flag symptoms. These include fever, night sweats, or unintentional weight loss, suggesting malignancy or infection. Shortness of breath, difficulty breathing while lying flat, or swelling may point to cardiopulmonary disease. Excessive urination, excessive thirst, or intolerance to heat or cold suggest endocrine disorders. Focal neurologic deficits, double vision, or difficulty swallowing raise concern for a neuromuscular cause. Always perform a complete review of systems and obtain a detailed medication list. Finally, do not neglect the psychosocial assessment. Inquire about sleep patterns, work and life stressors, mood, loss of interest in activities, and substance use. The physical examination should be targeted. Begin with a general assessment. Check vital signs, including orthostatic blood pressure and heart rate, and observe the patient's general appearance for pallor or signs of endocrine disease. Conduct a systemic exam for lymph node enlargement, thyroid enlargement, and abnormalities on heart, lung, and joint examination. If weakness is reported or suspected, a focused neuromuscular examination is mandatory. Start with observation. Look for muscle wasting, involuntary twitches, or asymmetry. Perform formal strength testing, grading power from 0 to 5 in key muscle groups like the shoulders, hips, grip, and ankles, specifically noting a proximal versus distal pattern. Test reflexes. Increased reflexes suggest an upper motor neuron problem, while decreased or absent reflexes suggest a lower motor neuron or peripheral nerve issue. Check sensation, particularly for a stocking glove distribution indicative of peripheral neuropathy. Finally, perform functional tests. Observe the patient's gait, check for Gower's sign where a patient uses their hands to walk up their thighs to stand, and perform the Romberg test for balance. Diagnostic testing should follow a tiered, hypothesis-driven approach. Initial basic laboratory tests are reasonable for all patients with unexplained fatigue. This includes a complete blood count with differential, a comprehensive metabolic panel for electrolytes and organ function, a thyroid-stimulating hormone test, an inflammatory marker like the erythrocyte sedimentation rate or C-reactive protein, and a urinalysis. Second-line testing should be guided by specific clues from the history and exam. If anemia is found, proceed to iron studies and vitamin B12 and folate levels. If infection is suspected, consider a human immunodeficiency virus test or viral serology. For possible inflammatory or muscle disease, check creatine kinase and an autoimmune panel. If an endocrine disorder like adrenal insufficiency is a concern, an early morning cortisol level may be indicated. For objective weakness, referral for specialized tests like electromyography, nerve conduction studies, or magnetic resonance imaging of the brain or spine may be necessary. Management is centered on treating any identified underlying cause. This could mean prescribing thyroid hormone replacement, iron supplementation, or initiating appropriate therapy for depression. For symptomatic and supportive care, non-pharmacologic strategies are first line. Emphasize good sleep hygiene, a regular sleep schedule, a dark and quiet bedroom, and limiting caffeine and alcohol. Graded exercise. Therapy, though controversial, may be considered for chronic fatigue syndrome in a highly individualized manner. Cognitive behavioral therapy is highly effective for functional fatigue and fatigue related to chronic medical conditions. Pharmacologic options like stimulants are reserved for specific, well-defined situations, such as fatigue in multiple sclerosis. Most importantly, provide thorough patient education and reassurance. Explain the findings clearly, set realistic expectations for recovery, and empower the patient with a focus on sustainable, non-drug strategies. Knowing when to refer is a key skill. Refer to neurology for objective weakness, progressive symptoms, or suspected neuromuscular disorders. Refer to psychiatry or psychology for significant depression, anxiety, or somatic symptom disorder. Refer to rheumatology for suspected inflammatory or connective tissue disease. Refer to sleep medicine for suspected sleep apnea or narcolepsy. Refer to endocrinology for complex hormonal workups beyond primary care scope. A systematic approach ensures patients receive the right expertise at the right time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.